Everybody getting ready, watching for those red lights coming on. Here we go in China. F1 Academy's underway, and it's a good start from the pole sitter. Nina Gademan gets away well ahead of Emma Felbert-Meyer, but it looks as though it's going to be a good one from Chloe Chambers on the outside in the Red Bull colours, going around the outside and into third place already, and maybe even attacking for second.
Yeah, I said watch out for her, but Alicia Palmaski sneaks up the inside. Is she going to make it stick? Emma Felbert-Meyer has the inside line. They're going to go toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel, all the way down this main straight, but that's a bliss for Nina Gademan. She's looking in her mirrors left and right, and she'll be thinking, this is fantastic. She's got a gap already.
So Felbert-Meyer has now just lost that second place, but as you say, it's Palmowski who's come through. Alicia Palmowski, the 18-year-old British driver, she's got into second, and now Felbert-Meyer, who was second on the grid, is definitely under pressure once again from Chloe Chambers, the 20-year-old from the United States who showed some great talent last year. She's now in her second season, and you're riding on board with Chloe Chambers as she now tries to find a way to get past Felbert-Meyer.
Yeah, you can just see as she gets in the dirty air of Felbert-Meyer in front, and here Maya Berg is going up the inside of the Tommy Hilfiger Alba Larsen. Can she make it stick? Yes, she does, through turn 10, so she'll have a nice clean run. I think it looks like Alba is now lost a place as well to Dorian Pan. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2.
Yeah, we'll find out what that is in just a second, but as you say, Maya Berg going well. She was the fastest in qualifying, remember, on a reverse grid. That's Shi Wei, the Chinese girl, who unfortunately has had a bit of an off.
Oh, she's beached.
Oh, and that's tricky because you just can't get going. She, as you say, it's just beached on there. She'll need help to get out of the way there. So yeah, we've got the yellow flag out.
Looks like that's turn 7. Nina Gademan's desperately trying to raise the tyre temperatures heading down, but there's still racing going on. Chloe Chambers is going to have a little look down the inside. Emma covers that off nicely. She's going to brave it round the outside. Chloe had a lock-up here yesterday in qualifying, but she gets forced off wide. She'll just about keep it, but I think we've got the safety car, Ben, for that stranded Shi Wei car.
Yeah, understandable. So the safety car is out. Everybody has to back off, slow it all down, and hold position. So that was a really good getaway by Nina Gademan. That really worked for her, but also by Alicia Palmowski, who's in second place. She started in fourth and worked that first couple of corners extremely well, because it did look at one point as though Chloe Chambers was going to dive past, but that inside line worked extremely well. At the back, you can see Ella Lloyd, who had to start from the pit lane, but unfortunately, Shi Wei, I really feel for her, because this is a wildcard entry. What F1 Academy does, it calls wildcard entries, are a single entry for a race weekend for new talent, and this was her chance. She will have another race, of course, but what a disappointing start. Let's have a look at that start again.
I mean, a perfect start for Nina from pole position. Giconte, not so well, dropped back ever so slightly, but Chloe Chambers did a fantastic job coming from 5th place, and I actually thought she was going to go all the way around the outside, but it's so tight. The radius really tightens round turn 1 into turn 2, but Alicia, she set it up perfectly, braved it round the outside, and was able then to have the inside line going down through turn 5 into turn 6. So on board with Chloe, gets the perfect launch. You can see that maybe just released of the clutch too quickly for Giconte. And then it's decision time. Do we go left? Do we go right? Do we brave it round the outside? And that is what Chloe Chambers decided to do. She had a look, kept it brave, but you can just see how it tightens, and not just the grip out there on the outside for Chloe.
I have to say, though, well played by them, because I've seen so many mistakes when people trying to overtake in that section of this track in the past, and actually they all played very well with it and gave each other just enough space. But as you say, Alicia Palmowski did extremely well. She got up into second place and managed to open up the gap. Chloe Chambers then went under attack once again, trying to find a way through, but this was all allowing the race leader Nina Gademan to make the break. Chloe Chambers really getting in close with Emma Felbert-Meyer, but they were just fighting out 4 positions, but cleanly done. Now, this is with Maya Berg, the fastest qualifier, had to start 8th. Let's have a look at how it went.
Yeah, and she had a look around the outside of, and Dorian Pan just got blocked there by Giconte on the inside, so Dorian was having a little look, and that opened the door then for Maya Berg to go round the outside of both of them, so that was really nicely done. We've got Alba Larsen, who again did a fantastic job in qualifying yesterday. She'll start in 3rd place, so a little bit of a gap for Maya as a check of the mirrors. And Eva Agagnostiadis in the Tag Heuer car, a first proper start for her, and she got away nicely.
Yeah, good to see that. Eva Agagnostiadis is 17 years old from Australia, and this is her first F1 Academy entry with the Tag Heuer backing. So it's a good view this. She was further down the grid. How does she get on? Holding a bit of a middle ground there, just keeping, yeah, it's tricky when it gets like that. And actually there was an opportunity for Leah Block to go through. So Leah Block in the Williams-backed car, there was a bit of contact, wasn't there?
There was. So on board with Dorian Pan, vice-champion last year in the series. So she's having a look. She pulled over to defend from Maya and then saw an opportunity. Up the inside goes the Tommy Hilfiger car, and is there any contact there? No, just misses out, gets squeezed onto the curb. So that's where she loses out to Maya, and Maya goes round the outside, keeping it very nice and clean. All these drivers, which as you said, Ben, there's plenty of times going to turn one in many series, many formula, where there's been contact there, and then it's a drag race flat out all the way down into the heavy braking zone into turn 6. Chikonke goes to the inside, Dorian goes around the outside. Maybe was thinking I'll have a little look going around the outside of Maya, but a lovely move by Dorian.
That was really good, as you say, late braking around the outside, and it worked extremely. And this is what Shi Wei did, the Chinese driver who we've seen has unfortunately got stuck on the curb there and hasn't been able to get going, so she lost it understandably, but then just was in a difficult position to get it going, and that's disappointing. She's had to get out of the car and she's out of this race, but she will be back for the second race of this weekend, and the marshals doing a good job of getting it out the way as quickly as possible, and we'll be back to racing very, very soon. So 13 lap race, this first race for F1 Academy. Let's listen into some radio.
I see you have good pace, and you know, Maya has good racecraft, so let's try to take advantage as she does.
Yeah, we have a good pace.
So Dorian Pan talking to her engineer, and happy with where she is. She is one place behind the likely big battler for the championship, I would think. I mean, going forwards, Alice, what do you think? These two both were winners last year. Maya Berg, she won the last race of last year, and Dorian Pan took 3 race wins, and yes, Abby Pulling took the championship, but those two are definitely contenders for this year's title.
Oh, 100% going into this year. Those are 2 names that you would put that were likely to finish into the top 3. But as I said, it's going to be so important keeping your nose clean in these reverse grid races, and so far that's what Maya and Dorian have done. But they were teammates last year, so they know that each other's strengths and weaknesses. As the Premier engineer for Pan there said, you know, she's got good racecraft, but she'll also know where she was a bit weaker last year. So Maya's moved over to the MP Motorsport team, really enjoying life there, got her first pole position yesterday, so she'll be looking forward to moving forward. But I'm really looking forward to the battles that we're going to see, not only in the reverse grid races this year, but all throughout the grid, and certainly in this top 5.
Yeah, reverse grid is going to make a difference to all the race weekends, there's no doubt. And the fact that they've got from 7th and 8th to 5th and 6th, and now we're under safety car period, will actually help them more, because as we saw, the first 2 or 3 cars had really pulled away already, and it was going to be much more difficult for them to get on terms with them. But when we get the restart, and once the safety car gets underway, gets out of the way, then they'll have a real chance to go even further up the order and maybe even chase for race victory. We'll see. But Nina Gaderman was doing a great job.
She was, and you can see drivers are trying to keep the tyres up to temperature as desperately as they can, using the brakes, using lateral load as well. Ella Lloyd, you can just see at the back there. So this would be good for her for a safety car. Of course, she had to start from the pit lane. Leah Block's done a good job from starting from pit lane as well. She's already up to P13 after that incident in free practice yesterday. But the lead that Nina had all but disappeared. I would expect we're going to get the safety car in very soon. The car of Shi Wei is now out of the way and has been recovered. And Alicia, she's another one with good experience racing in GB4 last year. She was vice champion. She'll be looking forward to moving forward. She was a wild card entry at Qatar and actually did a really impressive job, finished P5 in the only race that we ended up having in Qatar. The Sunday race was sadly postponed. And Chloe Chong, she returns to the championship as well in the Charlotte Tilbury liveried car. And safety car is now ending, Ben.
Right, so we'll go back to racing. Yes, as you say, she's returned, having done it in 2023. They're allowed to do 2 years in F1 Academy. She didn't get brought in for the 2nd year, but she's developed a lot more since then. And last year, when it was re-reviewed, F1 Academy decided to bring her back.
Just consistently got really loud beeps in my ear. I'm not sure if there's anything we can do to stop that. If not, no worries.
Copy. If it is disturbing you, the only solution I have is just disconnect the radio, but then we don't have any communication.
Well, I should think she'll stay. Well, let's keep with it then, because she will be very focused on the racing. Yes, it can be a little distracting, particularly it's probably more distracting when you're behind the safety car in many ways.
Yeah, it depends how frequent those beeps are, but Nina's backing them up now, heading down into the heavy braking zone of turn 14. She would have rehearsed this, gone over with the team of where the possible best placed would be to go under safety car. As you can see, everyone pretty much behind, waiting for her to go. It looks like she's gone, Ben.
Yeah, she's accelerating as she comes up to the last corner, and we are getting the race back underway once again. And Nina Gademan has launched herself very quickly away. Alicia Palmowski chasing in second place, and then the battle for third place as Chloe Chambers in the Red Bull colours is trying to get past Felbermeyer once again. She's going to go up the inside into turn 1, and she has outbraked, but look behind, because you've also got the one who was fastest, Maya Berg, in qualifying. Maya is now coming up the inside of Felbermeyer, and I think I don't know, Felbermeyer's doing a great job of defending. Right behind them, Dorian Pan might be able to snatch through as well. So a good battle between these two potential championship fighters as we go through the season. And coming up the inside, Maya Berg now, she's going to have to go to the outside. Felbermeyer's doing a great job here.
For her level of experience, doing a fantastic job getting her elbows out. She knows she needs to, and she'll have fast charges as the Tommy Hilfiger car runs slightly wide of Alba, but she's going down the inside, Maya Berg. She should make this stick round the fast turn 7 as she does, and Dorian Pan now knows, right, if Maya's got through, I have to get through. Still a yellow flag out in the first sector, but Dorian Pan is through as well. Yeah, beautifully done actually, but well done to Emma Felbermeyer. She is learning all of this. This is her first full single-seater season. She's come from the world of karting, but I have to say I'm really impressed. Oh dear, Aurelia Nobles and the damage done to the car. Oh, that's a great shame. Aurelia originally qualified 13th, had dropped a little bit down the order as you're on board with Alba Larsen here, one of the 16-year-olds in this lead group, and Larsen currently running in 8th position. I wonder if we're going to be able to get that car moved without going to another safety car. Well, no, we're not. The safety car is taking on track again, and that means everybody's going to have to slow down once more. Yeah, and actually those drivers that have made those moves in the early lap know that there's potential for safety cars, so they've got to take every opportunity they can, but that's such disappointment for Nobles. Just trying to see where on track that may be, but can't quite see it at the moment, but massive disappointment for her. Last year showed some real strong results last year, and this will be not the way that she'll want to start her season. So the restart, and we saw the fighting going on, the battles going on. Oh no! Yeah, that was a shame. So there was contact there, wasn't there, with Leah Block? Yeah, that's two teammates that have made contact there, Ben, and that will be broken rear suspension for Oriel Nobles. It's a huge disappointment for Leah, and I know that will upset Leah for sure. She just was a bit too late on the brakes. You can see Oriella trying to get away, but then realising quite quickly that the car is broken. And I wonder if the left front on Leah Block's car is damaged too, because she locked up, hit the rear wheel with her left front. I wonder if it's still going to be running. We will see. But that car still obviously needs to be moved before we can go back to racing here. And that has been noted, of course, the collision. It was an error, it was a lock-up, and as you say, I think Leah will be feeling, oh, shouldn't have done that, but it's just one of the ways. When you're racing, you've got to go for it, and it's easy to make errors sometimes. That is the thing, there'll be frustration built up for Leah as well. Her pace was fairly strong when they tested here a couple of weeks ago, and of course having to start from pit lane, she would have wanted to try to desperately move forward as quickly as possible, but I expect the tractor was already there on the left-hand side to recover that car, so hopefully they'll recover it pretty quickly. We're already nearly halfway through the race, and not many full racing laps we've had so far, but already we've had quite a few movers throughout the field, and Nina did a fantastic job getting that restart underway. Let's see if she does something different compared to what she did at the last restart. Absolutely, we shall have a look.
So this was when the restart took place, when the safety car first came in.
What is she doing? She's moving over on me.
Chloe Chambers, who was going down the inside, well, she'd left a one gap width, which is what you have to do. That's the rule, isn't it? You can move, but you can leave a one car gap.
Yeah, I think that was fair from Emma. You can't cross over before the green flag, which Chloe, by the looks like, didn't do, so she'll be all safe there. And we just saw that's when Maya tried to brave it round the outside and couldn't quite get it done, but able to make the move a couple of corners later. But look at this, Ben, a fantastic crowd has turned out to watch F1 Academy racing on this glorious afternoon in China. Sun's out shining. They'll be looking forward to some more racing laps, some young fans, and that's one thing from myself being in the F1 Academy paddock last year, the amount of young female fans as well that were down in the paddock. And we do get to go to an F1 Academy race this year. There are periods of time where they do open up the paddock for you to get up close and have a good look at these F1 Academy cars, and you'll often see some of the drivers walking around as well.
Just trying to have a quick little look at Leah Bloch's car. It actually looks okay at the moment. Whether there is any damage to that front wheel, I'm not sure, but yeah, she's going to have to come from the back again. Susie Wolf, Managing Director of F1 Academy, obviously keeping a close eye on everything that's going on, and she has been key to developing this series. It's now into its third year, and I talked to her briefly the other day, and she was saying it's great now that they're getting more and more young drivers that they can assess and finding real talent. And actually there's probably more drivers they found than who could be in this, but there's only 18 places, so these are the 18 that are lucky enough to be in it this year.
Yes, they've got a rookie test later on in the year, but I think that'll probably be heavily oversubscribed. I went to a kart track back here in the UK last weekend, and I couldn't get over the amount of young female drivers through all the categories, all the way up to 16, 17 years old. And each one that I did speak to, and I spoke to quite a few, said, yeah, we'd love to get to F1 Academy and beyond one day. And I think that's the effect that F1 Academy is having, not just to these drivers that you can see on the screen right now, but all the way down to the grassroots level. So
absolutely fascinating to see how this all develops. Remember, the safety car is ending at the end of this lap, so we will see Nina Garderman still trying to hold the advantage over Alicia Palmowski. Alicia Palmowski doing a great job at the moment in second place, but she could be under pressure from Chloe Chambers. But remember, we've also got the two rapid qualifiers as well right behind them, Maya Berg and Dorian Pan. Maya Berg, who did that qualifying lap that was nearly half a second faster than anybody else. Is she going to be able to find a few more places once we get this race back underway? But you have to say that Nina Gaderman is doing a great job up front in that number 3 car, and she will try and launch it again. Yeah,
you can see Alicia and those behind already poised, waiting for Nina to floor that throttle. They've stopped weaving. I expect Nina's going to get ready to put the hammer down again. Is she going to do it? This is where she did it last time. Is she going to do it in a similar place? It looks like she has been, but from my eyes, it looks like Palmowski is even closer than she was last time.
It's like Alicia behind knew exactly right. I know where you're going to go for it. I'm going to go for it at the same time, and she got it right. So it is still pretty close. Moving around, as long as you don't weave too much when you've actually got a car beginning to move alongside, but they're still warming tyres up and into the first corner, and she's done it pretty well. Gaderman is leading the race with Palmowski in second place, third place for Chloe Chambers, but keep an eye behind the Ferrari colours of Maya Berg. There she is. She will now be trying to gain a bit more. We've got another yellow flag, so somebody's had a little incident going into that first corner, presumably. We'll have to have a look at that in just a moment, but the race leader has once again made a very, very good getaway. Palmowski getting a little closer. Palmowski, as you say, who did such a good job in GP4 in the UK. She won the season opener at Alton Park last year. It's Nicole Havrada. What a shame. She has gone off, and I can't see damage, but...
No, well, there's we're going to see a replay from Chloe Tron. I'm guessing that's Havrada up in front of her. Chloe in 12 as she crossed the line. So let's have a look. Is Chloe going to have a look down the inside? Maybe there might be contact made. Oh, no. So just... And that's actually ripped part of the drive shaft off instantly. So that was really unfortunate. That's cold tyres for you, Ben. There's not been many racing laps, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think we're probably going to have another safety car.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I hadn't seen that damage from the angle we saw, but Nicole Havrida, the Canadian, 19-year-old, in her first F1 Academy race, and that's a great shame to be taken out, and that's another possible infringement. No, in fact, actually, it's another infringement that's being investigated. Joanne Ciconte is being looked at. She has really dropped down the order somewhat, Ciconte. She's down in 9th place. So whether there was something else going on that other restart, but safety car is back out, as you said, Alice. When you've got a car broken like that and it can't take itself away, then you've got to bring the safety car out.
Yes, you have. So hopefully the Marshall team did a great job recovering those previous 2 cars that we've had. So let's see if they're able to recover this just as quick as the last instance, and we will hopefully get more than 1 lap's worth of racing. But so far, Nina's done everything she's needed to do. She got off the line nicely, and she's had 2 fantastic safety car restarts. I can guarantee you there'll be frustration from all of those that in and around that top 6 who wanted to try and move up, get ever closer to those podium place positions. And certainly with Alicia, she was looking at particularly racy behind Nina at the restart there.
So Nicole Havrida very disappointed to be out of this race. It's been a bit of a tough weekend for her so far because she's got some good experience. She raced in Formula Regional Americas last year and had some very good results, a couple of 3rd places, several 3rd places in fact. Now let's have another look at this one, Alice.
And you'll see to the left-hand side, if they slow it down there, it's actually off goes part of the drive shaft in a minute. There we go, off it goes. Chloe probably had no idea that was flying in front of her, but that was just, as I said, cold tyres, a bit too late on the brakes for Chloe. And a little bit of tussling going further on there between Halfsman and the Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah.
There we go, the unfortunate ending for the American Express driver.
That is a great shame that it went out that way, as you say, and it was a mistake for Chloe Chong. Apparently Ciconte has got a 10-second penalty, and that was because they were still changing the tyre pressures at the last moment, which they weren't allowed to do. You were talking about that earlier, the tyre pressures.
Yeah, so there it's a 10-second stop and go, so that's a strong penalty for her in terms of having to now come into the pits once the safety car has come in and serving that penalty. But all the teams across the grid will try and desperately run as close to that limit as they possibly can. You'll often see the engineer and the mechanics going around the car several times adjusting those tyre pressures, and it can make a big difference to how the car handles, the performance of the car. And unfortunately for Ciconte, they were a bit too close and left it maybe slightly too late for making adjustments to the tyre pressures. And Ella Lloyd had the same thing. Either maybe it was a slow puncher for Ella, or her engineer, who actually was Abby Pulling's engineer last year, nicknamed Zimba, was maybe a bit too close to the limit there. But Ciconte's actually coming in to serve the penalty now, so she will drop all the way down to the back of the field. Actually, I'm not entirely sure whether you can serve it under safety car. I'm not sure. That bit of the regs I haven't dove too deep into, but she's going to come in anyway and serve the penalty.
Yeah, I wonder if that will apply, but we shall see. So there she is coming back in, and it is a great shame that they've picked up this penalty. It's MP Motorsport that run the car for Ciconte, and they are experienced in F1 Academy, no doubt about it. They were the 2nd team in the points in 2023. They've had some good results over the years, team titles in other categories as well, in Spanish Formula 4 many times, FIA Formula 2 in fact, with Felipe Drugovich some years ago. So MP Motorsport, good team, and but clearly it just went a little bit wrong because, as you say, you're trying to get everything to the last moment to get the best you can. That incident also under investigation, obviously, when Chloe Chong made the contact with Nicole Havrida. It's not surprising, but we are seeing that the safety car will be ending at the end of this lap.
I think if we are pretty smart now on the restart, we can get the podium.
Yep.
Very determined, yeah. Back from Maya Berg there. She knows she needs to keep it clean. Here's a replay from Alba Larsen. So she gets a really good run. That's Tina Hausmann and the Aston Martin in front. But I think she was possibly crossing over before they got to the green flag on the line there. So it'll be interesting to see what the stewards do about that. You're not allowed to pull up alongside the driver in front that you're attacking at the start of the restart there until you've passed the green flag. So we'll keep an eye to see if that gets reported at any point. But Nina's backed off, slowed the field down once again for the third time in this race. Let's see if she does something different this time.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll use the same system for making the break, but we'll find out. On board with Dorian Pan, started in 7th. She's up into 5th place now. Still behind one of her great rivals, of course, in the shape of Maya Berg, as they still have to take it easy. And then, but interestingly, she's going a little quicker. I think
Nina's gone.
I
think Nina's gone already. She's even caught us napping a little bit there, Ben, as well as everybody else. The field is much more spread. The only one that seemed to have a sort of know what was going on was Maya Berg there, because she's right up the back of Chloe Chambers. She's actually, I would say, got the smallest gap to the driver in front, but she's well done, Nina. You've caught everybody out there. Another great restart from her. Yeah, very good. She did go very early, as you say, and why not? She had every right to do that. So Nina Gademan still leads. It's the battle for 3rd that we are keeping an eye on, and you're riding in 4th place at the moment with Maya Berg, with the Ferrari backing that she has. She is part of the Ferrari Academy team, and she is now trying to get onto the podium in this first race. Remember, she will be on pole position for the second race this weekend, when many more points are on offer. You get 25 points for winning the second race, 10 points on offer for winning this reverse grid race, but she is definitely on target for getting on the podium. Still being chased by Dorian Pan behind her, and Emma Felbermeyer, who started 2nd in the Sauber backed car. We're back on board now with Chloe Chong, having made that little incident earlier. Can she do it clean this time? Yeah, so that's Ella Lloyd that would have made her way up past Chloe when Chloe had that incident previously, and a great job by Ella Lloyd, who, remember, started from pit lane. Nia Bott will have a 10-second penalty. She's the driver just behind Chloe in the Williams liveried car, but a good start from Nina. There's a slight lock-up for that inside left as she went down into turn 11 there. They're all cleanly through, but there's battles raging all the way through the field. There are, and it's great to see, and it's great experience for all of them as well, of course. As we thought, it wasn't a good idea for Joanne Chiconte to come into the pits for that penalty when the safety car was out. She should have done it when we're back to green flag, and that's unfortunate. But it's just learning. You've got to learn from the early days in your career. I'm just surprised the team perhaps didn't give her the advice on that one. Yeah, and a lock-up from Emma Felbermeyer there. She just tries to cover the inside from Alba Larsen in the Tommy Hilfiger. So another penalty for Giconte. She's going to have to come in. She's quite away behind Agagnostiadis anyway. But riding on board with Alba Larsen, she's tucked up under the rear wing of Felbermeyer. Is she going to have a look down the inside? But I tell you who is having a look down the inside. That's Chloe Chambers, all over the back of her teammate Alicia Palmowski. There, Chloe in the Red Bull Ford, both racing alongside Campos. But I wonder if there's a slight mistake by Gademan there, because that gap was around about 8/10 over the line. It's now under half a second. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if there was a little error going into the first corner. But you're right, Chloe Chambers is right on the back now of Alicia Palmowski. This is a close battle. 4th place, it's still Maya Berg, and she's not actually as close as I thought she was going to be after that restart. I'm surprised she's... Oh, Nina's got a problem.
Oh, the race leader, Nina Gademan, is backed off. She's got a technical problem. What a shame, because she's done a fantastic job up till now. What a heartbreak for Nina, and that is devastating for her. As you said, Ben, she did everything perfectly. Those restarts, she absolutely nailed it, and even off the race start as well. But we've got a battle on now for the win. The race lead has changed half a second. You can see Palmowski desperately trying to break the toe, going left, going right, getting the car straight.
jumping on the brakes into turn 11. She runs slightly wide, which will tighten up her entry for 12. You can see the variety of lines. Chloe running a slightly tighter line just to try and get out of that dirty air. But then she'll tuck right back underneath the wing of Palmowski. And this is where the tyres will lose a little bit of temperature down this 1.2 kilometre straight. They'll then jump on the brakes as they head down into 14, but you can't weave too much. I'm sure that the stewards will be on the radio at some point to the Campos team, jumping on the brakes, but there's battle in the background, Ben.
Absolutely, a little bit of a lock-up and a bit of contact as well. Elma Larsen just making a touch, but Felbermeyer's managed to get away with it, I think, but through the middle comes Dorian Pan, taking full advantage of all this. And yes, she's got through. That was all a bit of an incident, though, and hopefully they can all keep it going. Meanwhile, it is still Alicia Palmowski who is leading as we go on to the last lap. The British driver, who has only competed in one F1 Academy race before this season, into her first full season. And she is still in front, but she's still got Chloe Chambers, who has more F1 Academy experience to her, in second place, and then third place, a race winner in the series already, Maya Berg, who will be on pole for the second race. What a battle we've got going into the last stages.
Yeah, Dorian Pan was so lucky. I actually think she was ahead of the incident. Larsen then just into the back of Felbermeyer, but back through this battle, Chloe Chambers was so close to winning on more than one occasion last year. She did get a win at Barcelona, was in the lead at Abu Dhabi and spun off on the opening lap, but Maya Berg has snuck up on the back of these two. She will be able to taste victory, I'm sure, but she's done a great job coming through. So riding on board there, you can see Chloe taking the slightly tighter line to try and get a bit more clean air on that front wing. Alicia at the moment soaking up all the pressure, doing a fantastic job as they go down into turn 11, but it's going to be tough for her. 4/10 is the gap. You ideally need around about half a second more of a gap going onto that back straight, because that toe is pretty effective. She's done that. It's over half a second, so for her, she'll be hoping that's enough.
Well, it's very impressive what she's done so far. Can she hold on down the long straight, 1.2 kilometres? This is where the slipstream, of course, following another car, you get a tow being the car behind, getting a little bit of extra speed. No DRS in F1 Academy, but you do get a little bit of straight line speed. And she's going on the attack. But fair enough, you're allowed to defend once, and she does that, Palmowski, but can she get the braking right? Yes, she can, but it's still going to be close as they come out towards the last corner. The left-hander coming up. One more braking into the final corner, and then onto the main straight. And Alicia Palmowski has done it. She's done a brilliant job. She takes victory in the first race of the season in the F1 Academy. The sprint race starting in fourth. She has taken victory. Second place to Chloe Chambers. Oh, an incident as well. Elba Meyer, and Hausmann involved. Oh, what a shame.
Now, I've just seen on the timing tower on the left-hand side there, Larsen's got in front of Dorian Pan, and there was a big battle between those two. And actually, I did hear a screech of a tyre, so Pan has locked up, and then a late move from Hausmann there on the inside of Emma Felbermeyer, and I'm sure there's going to be some waving going on there. Yeah, so the stewards are going to be fairly busy after this race, but what a brilliant victory for Alicia Palmowski. Coming into the series in her first full year, was a wild card entry last year, but the Red Bull driver is on the top step of the podium for this race, and she was under a lot of pressure from Chloe Chambers, but a nice 1-2 for Campos Racing.
But it's now Alicia Palmowski who has taken victory and given delight to Red Bull with their support. And Susie Wolf, the managing director of F1 Academy, delighted also to see these three drivers being able to celebrate already, and potentially all three of them could be fighting for the championship as we go through the year. There are 7 events, 2 races at each event as we go through the season, but this is the first one, and what a brilliant start it has been for Alicia Palmowski to take the first victory in F1 Academy 2025. And now it is Maya Berg who earned pole position and is now taking the rolling start for this second race of the season. Maya Berg has launched away, but she is already under pressure from her big rival Dorian Pan. And Dorian Pan, the Mercedes, livery coming around the outside into turn 1, around the outside of the Ferrari. But is it enough? I'm not sure it is. Maya Berg trying to hold that inside line. Oh, she had to correct.
A brilliant overtake from Dorian Pan. Is she going to get it stopped for turn 3? She does, and Maya was a bit tentative through that final corner under that oil. So of course she's the first driver through there on the safety car restart. I was expecting her maybe to leave it slightly later, but she's going to be determined to duck into the back of that. So everyone clean in the background. Nina Gademan's trying to get past Emma Felbermeyer in front.
Oh, they've made contact, Gademan and Felbermeyer. What a shame. They were 8th and 7th on the starting grid, and they both have had a difficult time this weekend when they should really have been on the pace all the time. Was it Houseman or was it...
Yeah, it was Tina Houseman made
Tina
contact.
Houseman, right, sorry,
she was told to make sure you work with your teammate, and the opposite has happened.
Yeah, oh no, we've got more spins as well. Aurelian Noble's off. Oh dear, this is all getting a little bit tricky. Nicole Havreda as well, and there's damage to the cars on also going off there as well. We've got the number 25 car, Joanne Conte. So, this is really proving to be a difficult start.
It is. Of course, there's going to be a safety car after the stricken cars that we have. I think that was down by the looks of it, maybe at turn 8, I think it was. But frustration for Maya Berg. She'll be kicking herself for losing that position at the start, particularly when Dorian's got those new tyres bolted on. But that's heartbreak for Nobles, who didn't finish yesterday.
Exactly, second race in a row that she's been climbing out of the car. Pretty well, this is even earlier than the other race. She was going for a little longer, and that is really disappointing for the 18-year-old Brazilian in her second year of F1 Academy, and unfortunately it's all gone wrong. And also the disappointment for Joanne Chiconte there on the left-hand side, number 25 in the F1 Academy colours. So she is supported by F1 Academy with MP Motorsport, and that is so disappointing for the youngest entry, 16-year-old. She did finish the first race, but only down at the back because she had penalties. So tough weekend for her as well.
Definitely a big disappointment for those drivers. We'll get a few replays gathered together. A lot of damage on some of those cars. So big frustration for those that are out early on.
Another DNF for Havreda too. She got hit by Chloe Chong, didn't she, in the first race? Number 2 that you're looking at there, the Canadian, she's out of this race as well. So it seems to be a similar bunch, sadly, who had problems in the first race. Okay, let's have a look at this, Alice, see what we can work out.
So Dorian was already tucked nicely underneath the rear wing of Maya Berg and braved it round the outside, possibly with that extra grip from the new tyres that she's got on her Prema Racing machine. She was able to hold it round the inside, and actually she pinched Maya Berg quite nicely, forced her slightly on the curb, and you can see all the corrections. And there was contact, Ben. The front wings of Dorian Pan's car just touching the rear of Maya Berg, and you can see tucked up face full of dust for Dorian, but she won't mind because she sailed through a great move round the outside of Maya Berg.
Let's have a look at this from online, as you say, and she just moved in time. My goodness, she really went for that. She could have almost clipped the front wing around the outside, and this was beautifully done. We've seen this before. Look at the correction she's having to do, and not quite as much correction as Berg had to, but she had to deal with it.
She did, and she dealt with it so well, and a big sigh of relief coming from her. She took the risk, and it paid off. But after yesterday, she knew she had to take the risk. So let's have a little look further on in the background. So you can see Tina Houseman's going down the inside. Just a late move once again.
Yeah, seriously, just took me out.
Yeah, so Nina Gademan, who led so much of the first race, getting taken out by Tina Houseman.
Now I'm just looking at Joanne Giaconte. I think she was so unlucky here. She's got nowhere to go, and I think her rear...
I don't know why, I don't know.
Well, Houseman saying... And they are teammates, aren't they? They're both with Prema.
Yeah, so watch the F1 Academy car, livery car here. We're going to be able to see it. So Joanne Giaconte was just unlucky. We can't really see it from this onboard, but I think her rear's just slightly clipped Tina Houseman spinning Aston Martin there. Let's have a look. Is it going to be front wheel to rear wheel? Oh,
maybe it's I think it's another incident, probably.
Yeah, it must be another incident.
But the fact that the Prema drivers were spoken to on the grid, and now they've ended up hitting each other. Right.
There we go.
Oh dear. So the contact being made there from Chloe Chong into the back of Joanne Giconte, and then the others trying to avoid her, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so unlucky.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no words else to say back to that. She is. So that was all calls from Chloe Chong going into the back of Joanne Giconte.
Oh,
and
dear.
then sadly for Nicole Havrida and Oriella Nobles had nowhere to go at all. So sadly, early end for those two drivers. They have, or three drivers should I say, all made it back, and I'm expecting there'll be some kind of penalty for Chloe Chong. The stewards are quite quick with making their decisions.
Yeah, she got a penalty, a 10-second penalty in the earlier race, the race one, when she hit Havrida that time. And, well, yeah, it's just not going well at all, is it, for that little bunch? They just couldn't get out of the way. I do feel for them that the cars are all being moved out of the way so that we can get the racing restarted again, with Doriane Pain currently leading with the Mercedes-backed Prema team. The Prema team have lost two of their cars, though, as we've seen. Well, not lost them, but certainly lost plenty of positions. There's one of them there, the number 78 of Tina Hausmann, who had that contact with Nina Gademan. There they are, Nina Gademan, and right at the back now. So it's a bit ironic, but for the Prema team, they've got a car leading, and then they've got two cars right down the back of the field.
One thing to also point out is Alba Larsen. She's held on to the charging Chloe Chambers in P3. So she's had a decent restart. It was all going off at the front and at the mid-pack that we missed that. So good start by her. She's also mentored, so I've been told, by Kevin Magnussen. So
yeah.
I'm sure he's had plenty of experience around this track, so he would have passed on some wise words, I'm sure.
Also, keep an eye out for the Williams livery car a bit further down the order, down in 11th place. That's Leah Block, who started right down at the back of the grid. She started down in 18th place. She's got up to 11th place. You can see, as you can just see in the background, Joanne Giconte now talking to her team, the disappointment, the tough one of coming back into the pits so early in the race after that incident. But there's nothing she can do about it. So, yeah, we're looking back at the race leader right now as we're still behind the safety car. But as I mentioned, Leah Block has made good amount of ground, moving from 18th to 11th. She's just ahead of Eva Anagnostiadis, who started down in 15th place. And Anagnostiadis managed to finish in 8th place in the first race.
Can you give me an explanation of why Tina hit me? Did she lock up or?
I have no current information. We'll review it after the race.
Okay, just to give you some info on that, she was pretty far behind me, so it's pretty hard to hit me.
Copy.
She's not happy, Nina Gademan, is she?
No, and rightly so. I believe Tina was defending from another car. Let's have a little look at the top of the screen. Yeah, so she was defending from Giconte and just outbraked herself. Plain and simple there. Had nowhere to go. She applied a bit more brake with a bit more steering lock, and that's what's caused the lock-up. You could just see puffs of smoke come out, and then Nina was the innocent party being tagged and spun round. So real frustration, as you could hear from the voice of Nina Gademan. But safety car is ending. Doriane's going to be feeling pretty confident, I can imagine. Maya Berg knows she's got to try and get past Doriane as early as she can, particularly when Doriane's on those new set of Pirelli tyres. But the safety car lights will go out now, and interesting to see where Doriane's gonna go with her safety car restart this time.
Absolutely, and we'll keep an eye on some of those further down. Courtney Crone, by the way, in 9th place. She's come up from 14th on the grid, so she's also trying to make some progress. The American 24-year-old who has raced all sorts of things over the years, but is doing F1 Academy full-on this year. So here we are then, still a little way to go before we get the race actually restarted. We'll decide where to go. As you say, Doriane Pain, will she keep them all together? At the moment she is. As they come down the straight, she's definitely not accelerating away hard yet. She's keeping the pace quite slow. Those at the back need to be a little cautious, but they're all very aware at this point. And then we'll be seeing when she's going to go for it.
She's waiting, she's weaving, trying to distract the driver behind, but also keeping up some tyre temperature, making sure that your revs are nice and settled, and you're eager, not too early so you crash into the back, but not too late where you don't get a good start. And I'm expecting she's going to go in the middle of that hairpin where Maya Vog's got the most amount of lock on. So it's a carbon copy. They've copied each other effectively. She'll be the first one to test out this dust once again.
Yeah, so into the final quarter, and the race gets back underway again under green flag. And Dorian Pan, who qualified in second, has taken that lead off the first lap and stays in front on the restart as well. Maya Vog in second place, the two of them being chased by Alba Larsen and Chloe Chambers still getting nicely involved. Then Leah Block, as I mentioned, number 57 up on the outside, trying to make the move on Rafaela Ferreira, but both of them actually are making ground up as they come, because Ferreira, she started down in 16th place and they're now potentially scoring points. They'll all score points down to 10th position. Ferreira in that 10th place at the moment, Leah Block in 11th position. And we'll see whether Gateman is going to be able to make some ground. She has already made a little bit of ground. Ella Lloyd, number 20 there, also trying to make a move to get past and see whether she can gain any places on Emma Felber-Meyer. You're on board with Ella.
Yeah, Rodin Motorsport teammates as they come through the fast turn 7. You can see big corrections from both there, and Alicia Palmowski as well, fighting up the wheel. Our race winner yesterday under pressure in these early stages of this race from Emma Felbermeyer, who's new to car racing. It's her first year racing in cars, and she's in a sandwich of two fairly experienced drivers, both racing in F4 level machinery last year in the UK, and of course both did a wildcard entry, so they know a little bit of what F1 Academy is about. So here's some moves in the background. I'm just looking at Nina Gademan, went nicely down the inside of Tina Hausman, and actually got Shi Wei as well, who ran slightly wide from the apex at turn 1.
And Tina Hausman actually played it rather carefully, cautiously. Maybe she was feeling a bit bad after what had happened in that earlier. Yeah, and she has got a 10-second penalty. Look, that's come up as well. No surprise. Now you've got a good battle up front, though. And Dorian Pan did do some lockups into this hairpin in race 1. She did it nicely there, didn't make any mistakes, but she's still under pressure. And the toe you get down that main straight sometimes help close the group together.
Yes, it does, but the pace from Dorian is not what I was necessarily expecting early on in this this race, especially with the new tyres bolted on. Larsen with the fastest lap, so great job by the 16-year-old Dane, who's closely following her teammates of Maya Vog in front. Okay, their liveries are different, but both being operated by MP. So Dorian under pressure, but we know how good of a driver Dorian is. She can soak up the pressure. Maya Vog taking a slightly wider line, allowing the car to run out, possibly hoping to try and look after the tyres ever so slightly. But these two drivers, so experienced from racing, and both have achieved great results in other categories that they have raced in. But Larsen, she said in her interview, didn't she, before the race, that she's gonna hope she can stay with Maya and Dorian. And so far, she's doing a pretty good job of that.
She is, although she is under a bit of pressure from Chloe Chambers in the Red Bull livery car there. And Chloe, of course, who set the fastest lap in race 1, potentially has that performance. Behind her, Alicia Palmowski still running in 5th place, and then Emma Felber-Meyer is getting pretty close in the Sauber colouring. She's doing a good job. So we've got quite a group. Here Dorian Pan has pulled away just a little bit at a crucial part of the lap, because if you can just make your brake a little bit up into turns 11, 12 and going down the straight, then you've got that little gap you need as you get into the slipstream area where Maya Vog will be able to close back up again.
Yeah, she's had a very good middle sector actually, Dorian, so potentially these new tyres taking slightly longer than she'd like to come in, but she's done a very, very good job. Maybe she's also just looking after the tyres, because we've still a decent way to go. A late move there from Chloe Chambers, having a look down the inside. I think she had to hit the inside curb to avoid contact there. That's going to push her back slightly into her fellow Red Bull teammate, and Alicia Palmowski, but escaped there. Emma Felbermeyer is doing a great job. She's caught up on the back of this pack. So all cars separated at the front, at least, by around about 2-3 seconds, certainly 3 seconds between the top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. But Lloyd doing a good job too, because she did qualify down in 11th place. She's in 7th position, as we're watching Leah Block now trying to make the move once again, see whether she can get past Courtney Crone, but Courtney Crone just defending in the Haas-backed machine, but also, as you can see, under some serious pressure from Nina Gademan. So let's see how this goes. Nina Gademan, number 3, the one behind the Alpine livery. Is she going to go for the inside? No. Okay, just holding position at this stage. Still got a few laps to go. It's finding the right moment.
It is. It's not rushing it. Mistakes can be made. Just have a look at a replay of Ferreira down the inside of Courtney Crone. Just about got it stopped, so it's a nice move. Leah Block, of course, didn't start qualifying. She had a big crash, big incident in free practice. Here's this replay, Ben, a late jink out from Chloe Chambers, and the right decision to maybe pinch the apex there to avoid any contact.
Yeah, so it was good that she did go tight, and to be fair, Alba Larsen gave a little bit of space. It wouldn't have been enough if Chloe Chambers hadn't really gone for the curb. That was good by both of them. They just gave each other just enough room before it all went wrong, so well done to them, as we're still in that battle further down the order, really to try and get into the points, particularly for Nina Gademan, who's outside of the points at the moment, whereas leading this particular little group of them at the moment, Courtney Crone has that potential to take the final point, but she's got serious pressure now, and Leah Block is the one behind her. Meanwhile, Tina Hausmann is also coming up from the back after that incident earlier. And Leah Block, no, didn't quite manage it there.
No, she was trying, I saw what she was trying to do, trying to get the cut back there, but just wasn't able to do so. Hausmann's got past Agnosstiadis at the tail end of the field there, but Dorian Pan is controlling the pace out front. She set a pretty identical lap time between her and Maya Vug. Leah Block, she's on the charge again. She's going to try and do what Dorian did at the start, brave it round the outside. These are 2 ART teammates, and nice move. So she's able to sweep past her teammate there, who's now going to come quickly under pressure from the charging Alpine of Nina Gademan. But a nice move from the Williams driver.
Yeah, she had to correct it a bit, but it was good. She really went on the attack late on the brakes, had to do some oversteer correction as she went through turns 1 and 2, but she has dealt with it well, as you say, and she is now in the points, and also Gademan now gets past. So Nina Gademan, who had that incident earlier on, got taken out by her teammate. She is gradually moving up the order. Chloe Chambers you're looking at once again. This is the battle for third, remember. At this stage, it's Alba Larsen who is still holding on to that third place, with Chloe Chambers, who finished second in race 1, keeping the pressure on. And then it's Alicia Palmowski who took the win in race 1. She's just watching this, trying to stay on the pace. She made a very sensible quote I saw after that race. She wasn't expecting necessarily to come into this second race with a further down grid position and be quite so able to take a victory, but she's doing a sensible job. Now let's see as they come down the straight whether this is a chance for Chloe Chambers.
She's going to be under pressure. Alba Larsen, 2/10 was the gap coming on to the straight. You certainly needed a bigger gap to have to breathe easy into turn 14. She's having a check of her mirror. She's pulling over to defend, but she's left a bit of room for Chloe Chambers to go down the inside.
And Chambers has moved up into third as long as she can hold it, but she breaks late and runs wide. And Alba Larsen got the braking perfectly and gets back into that third place.
Yeah, great driving from these two. Nice, fair, nice and clean. Bit dusty on that inside. Chloe was pinched to the inside there. Alba left plenty of space, but just the dust from the previous race and overnight that's gathered on the inside there. Maybe just caught Chloe out ever so slightly. Wasn't able to get the car stopped. And actually this pair here have dropped, the Palmowski and Felbermeyer, ever so slightly, even saying that this battle has allowed them to pull that gap down slightly.
Yeah, so it's still going to be a pressure this for third place, but up front there is no doubt that gap that Dorian Pan has opened up, she's doing a great job at this stage, up to 1.4 seconds, and Maya Berg, I just don't think she's quite got the pace to be able to go on the attack. Mind you, you only need one little error at this stage and suddenly it can all change again. But we've seen Dorian Pan, her experience, not only in F1 Academy, all sorts of other forms of racing. This was the move then.
Yeah, you can see the marbles and the dust on the inside there, and a last-minute lock-up from Chloe Chambers. She was desperately trying to get the car stopped, using the gears to slow it down, but the brakes as well. There's a move further back. Is this going to be Tina Hausmann gaining a position on Courtney Crone, coming down into turn 14? Let's have a little look. Tina Houseman on the outside. Does she get the car stopped? She has a check of the mirrors. She's going to run slightly wide, so it doesn't look like, to me, position gain.
No, it doesn't quite work for her, unfortunately, but still on the attack, still having a go at it. We're on lap 9 out of 11. Dorian Pain is the race leader at this stage. Maya Berg in second position. This is the fight for third place that we have seen going down to the end of the straight, and last time it didn't quite work for Chloe Chambers. She's got the toe again. She's gaining 5 or 6 miles an hour, but is she close enough? I doubt it this time, and she stays behind, gets a feel for the braking. Oh, and there's a good move up the inside. Felbermeyer battling away and getting past Palmowski, but Palmowski is now maybe going to get it back again, but I think Felbermeyer's got the inside line. Yeah, she's made it work. Emma Felbermeyer in the Sauberbach car run by Rodin. She's done well there in her first full F1 Academy season, but look, she's under pressure. Do you think, and Chloe Chambers up the inside into turn 1.
Yeah, but Larson's going to try and hold it round the outside. I don't think she's going to have the grip to do so. You can see her fighting at the wheel, but she was soaking up so much pressure and read the situation so well going down into turn 14, but maybe misjudged it slightly of how close Chloe was down into turn 1. But great job, Felbermeyer as well has taken the position from Palmowski, so she's moved forward. So great driving by Larson and Felbermeyer, to our 2 rookies that we've got running up in the top 6. But Chloe Chambers, she's set free now. She's 2.4 seconds behind Maya Berg in second place, but I know she'll get her head down. She's not got very long left to go to do it, though.
Yeah, she did get fastest lap in that first race, as we said, but we shall see whether she can really close the gap. It's a bit of a big gap still for her to do. She did a decent job, though, had to work at it, and fair play to Alba Larson. Let's have another little look now. So this was the there was a bit of contact. Didn't know that Palmowski had actually made a little touch to the back of Emma Felbermeyer.
And it was the front nose. That should be okay in terms of the risk for Emma getting any kind of puncture there. But here's the move from Chloe Chambers. She thought, well, hang on, it's opened up for me there. I'm going to send it down the inside. Never leave a gap for Chloe Chambers, because she's likely to take it, and she did there.
Oh, finally.
Sigh of relief. She set herself free to charge down the next position. And there's more battles raging further down. Ella Lloyd, you can see, in 7th place, but behind her there's a battle between Chloe Chong and Rafaela Ferreira. Ferreira on the outside, Chloe Chong on the inside.
Can they both get round safely? Yes, they give each other space. It's giving Leah Block behind an opportunity to get even closer at this stage. And Rafaela Ferreira in the number 18 car, putting a lot of pressure under Chloe Chong. Chloe Chong does have a penalty, remember, so actually they're not effectively racing for this position when the penalty comes out. It is for 8th on track as it is at the moment, but Chong has been given a penalty, so that will be an aspect when we get the full result.
Yeah, that gap's not closing as well. Just looking at the timing tower on the left of our screen, Ben, Chloe Chambers not pulling down that gap, and it was going to be a tough ask for her to chase down. So she won't be able to, unless, of course, a mistake from Maya in front. But it looks like at the sectors at the moment it's all in control, but this battle still rages on for 8th place. As you said, Ben, a penalty already for Chloe Chong, so she will still drop behind these drivers that are behind her. But Leah Block has joined the party. She'll be hoping to try and sneak past Ferreira. It's actually contact between these two during free practice in the early stages of Friday, which caused Leah to have big chassis damage, and she actually had to change chassis, so she wasn't able to take part in qualifying. But she'll be looking to try and make her way forward in the final stages of this race.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, there was contact between the two, the number 57 and the number 18 cars in that session, which stopped qualifying completely for Leah Block. So now, and it was down this straight, it was just one of those things. They were weaving around. Ferreira was weaving around to warm the tyres up, and as Leah Block was behind, she just moved over, and the weave came at the wrong time. They made contact, so that's what took Leah Block out. Let's see how it goes for the race. Both of them are trying to pick up the toe, and here comes Rafaela Ferreira to the outside as they head down towards the hairpin. Now, will Leah Block have a little go as well? She's waiting to see what's going to happen ahead of us. Meanwhile, across the line, taking the victory, Dorian Pin takes win in race 2 of F1 Academy 2025. We're still watching to see what happens. Maja Berg finished in 2nd, Chloe Chambers in 3rd place, Alba Larsen in 4th position. But is this going to change further back? Chloe Chong, the penalty has been added to the list now. So although she managed to fend them off, of course, with that penalty that she had, she is being pushed down the order, and we have seen that Alba Larsen finished in 4th place, Emma Felbermeyer in 5th place, the winner of race 1, Palmowski, she's finished in 6th place, but Dorian Pin has done a great job up front from that 2nd place on the grid.
Oh! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! What a race. Thank you so much for the car.
The French national anthem plays out for Dorian Pin, having taken the victory, and the trophies are now being handed out to our podium finishers. She has a 5-point advantage now in the points battle, but it is a very early stage, of course. It is over Maja Berg, who has finished in 2nd place, but it is time to really celebrate. And of course, Mercedes will be very, very happy to see Dorian Pin deliver that performance. But Ferrari as well, to see Maja Berg on the podium once again, and Chloe Chambers for Red Bull. She drove very well, had to work hard to get that 3rd place, but did it cleanly and smoothly.
Campos taking the early lead in the team's championship from MP Motorsport and then Prema Racing. But celebrations underway. Tell by the emotions of her on the podium how disappointed she is. But like you said, there's still plenty of races left to go. But she will feel that maybe this was a missed opportunity, a missed chance to get the maximum points from this race.